So the conversation that we're going to have today is just basically more for your parents than it is for you. It's just we're going to have an open and frank conversation about stuff the kids do, right, and things like that. Most of you guys have had some sort of concern with social media, right?
What are we like classifying social media? Like,
That's a great question.
Cause like there's other things like house party where it's just like a place where you can like everybody can like FaceTime.
That's social media.
Okay.
Right. So a good definition of social media is anything where you're interacting with a group of people at the same time. What do you guys normally use? Like what's the because your parents use Facebook. How many of you guys use Facebook? Nobody. All right? But your parents all use Facebook. Snapchat number one?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Snapchat number one. Where's Instagram?
Definitely
Probably two.
Two. So Snapchat and Instagram. Is there anything else out there that everybody's beginning to start using?
Some people use Twitter.
Twitter.
So then YouTube would consider.
YouTube could be social media, Facebook, obviously, anywhere where you can sort of like interact. Google.
Do students use TikTok or no?
We don't use that anymore.
Nobody
They
That
use
was like in
TikTok.
5th grade.
Nobody.
Everybody used that in like 5th grade.
Well, they also used to use Roblox because Roblox has a lot of a social media component. So does Minecraft, and so does what's the other for little kids? Like social media for little kids would be what? Like Roblox would be one.
Club
Minecraft would be another one.
Oh, I used
Club
to
Penguin.
love Club Penguin.
Yeah, I used to love that game.
That was my game.
So, but the thing is that
I had membership.
you can chat with that stuff, right? So there could be other people coming in and sort of seeing that. So the first thing is, here's the question I'm going to ask you. What would your parents be surprised about with regards to social media and the internet and kids?
What people are doing at a young age.
Like what?
Like, not trying to, this is be kid friendly, but like Pornhub or stuff like that.
I mean, that happens a lot. And now you have 10, 11-year-old kids who are on porn sites all the time. The parents don't know anything about it. Yeah, that happens. Yep.
Talking to people older than them.
Oh yeah, talking to people older than
Yeah.
them.
Does that really happen a lot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Are
some
you
people.
serious? Like,
Yeah.
see, I didn't know.
I don't.
I thought that you guys just talked to like each other.
That's
you
what
talk
I
to like people that.
I mean, it depends on the person.
Like, yeah.
I don't friend anyone that's like not.
Same.
Like if I don't know them.
I don't. Well, me personally, I'll like ask people like, hey, do you know this person? Or like, does this person go to my school? And if not, I just leave them in my like.
So they get into what, like a group chat or something like that, or
No,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes.
Well, yeah, sometimes, but
Or they'll
it's
add
like,
you if like you're mentioned
yeah.
on somebody's story on Snapchat
yeah.
or something.
okay. Like I feel people are less shy on social media.
Yeah, everything is.
Yeah, people be
yeah.
bold on social media.
They're just.
So one of the issues that we had is that some of you actually made threats against the school and stuff like that, and we take that incredibly seriously. So one of the things that I told you guys is anything that happens here, if it's a threat against the school, oftentimes the schools are instructed go straight to the police. Don't investigate. Don't do any of these things. You have to just do it because you have to take everything serious on. But it can become a gigantic problem. Something that's going on that's kind of crazy. Do you know what doxing is? What's doxing?
If I remember correctly, it is gathering information about someone and using it against them.
Right, and putting it online. So
Yeah.
where they live, their phone numbers, all that type of stuff. You guys know what swatting is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody explain what swatting is.
So from what I know, it's when someone calls in a false threat. Like, let's say someone's at their house and they say, oh, I have a bomb, I have hostages, and they give them the address, and the SWAT team doesn't know that. So they come in expecting bombs, hostages, when really chances are it's just someone on the internet or playing a game or, just generally on the internet.
All right, that's happening a lot. Like police are getting a lot of false threats from people saying, "Oh, this kid has XYZ," and then all of a sudden they'll send a SWAT team and all that. Okay, true or false? People get depressed because of the stuff that happens online.
True.
True.
100% true.
Are you serious?
100%.
Like,
It happens to everybody.
what do you mean?
So, like, even if it's not like somebody posting it, even on like texting, like on Snapchat or something, somebody will text you something and it'll just like make you upset. Then you'll be upset for like a long time. And then it's worse when a lot of people know about it. So it's fine if it's just like just you, but if like people start talking about it and like everybody knows, it just hurts that much more.
Do they still use like flaming and stuff like that? Like people making fun of you online? Like what do you call, or burning, I guess?
Roasting.
You guys-
Roasting.
Roasting. Right? So it started when I was back in the 90s, it was flaming, then it became burning, and now it's roasting, right? So what happens if somebody roasts you online, everybody sees what's going on, and then, or is it different?
It's more personal.
Okay.
It's more like somebody said something about this person or like this person's dating this person, stuff like that.
So a lot of dating drama.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of dating drama. Okay. All right. Cool. Not cool, but you know, it's good that you guys are talking about it because you're all 7th and 8th graders, and all of your parents are like, "What?" You know. So, okay. All right. So you talked a little bit about what your parents would be surprised about, right? So just to recap, we talked about the amount of porn that kids are exposed to, right? Because that's definitely out there. How do you guys normally deal with that stuff?
We just ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of-
So I
just
see
on
it
the
as
side of
ignore
the
it.
screen, we mentioned threats. We mentioned sexting, right? Where people are like sending pictures of themselves looking like they're naked. They may not even necessarily be naked, but they look like they're naked.
Most
So
is
they're
like
taking a
somebody
pic-
sending like a shoulder. That's like the most I've ever seen.
Okay, all right, but that does happen, all right, and worse. True.
Yeah.
True. Okay. What else did we say? The whole depression thing, that this does make a difference, right? Because everybody knows about whatever your argument is, everybody knows about it. All right, so how do parents deal with this? Like if you're, so not for your parent, obviously, but okay, but for everybody's parents, how would you, what do you tell them? Like how do you stay on top of this?
I feel like that also depends on the kid.
Okay.
Because like if you like, I tell my mom everything, but like somebody, I don't know, I'm not assuming anything, but they might not know like anything that's going on. or
So
something like that.
how do you, if I'm a parent and I don't know if my kid is telling me everything, because I think I have a great relationship with my kid, right? But I don't know.
Give them your password.
Yeah, I know.
How many of you have given your password to your parents? All right, that's what I thought. Like, rarely do the kids give their parents' passwords. How many of you guys have your parents following you on Snapchat or on Instagram?
I and my sister.
Okay, all right. So that was one of the things I told you guys to do, because that way you sort of keep yourself out of trouble, and your parents will sort of see what you're doing. They're very busy. So my guess is that they're not going to be looking at your stuff all the time, but it's kind of a good thing to have. Any other advice that you would give parents? Yep.
Okay, one, like for a parent, like you have to like trust your kid enough to know that they're not doing anything, because if you're always on it, they're not going to tell you anything. But then like second, I mean, you could go on their Snapchat, I guess, without them noticing.
How many people would
that's
feel like
possible.
totally violated if somebody did that?
True.
Okay. All right.
Okay, don't do that. Never
Okay,
mind.
so you were talking about trust, right? Your relationship is, you're talking first before you're sharing online stuff, because it just becomes part of what you do, right? I think that's really, really important. Like having that relationship where you guys can talk to your parents about anything is really, really big. Okay? And I'm dealing with stuff that may have an influence on your life 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right? And I tell you guys that anything that you put online may be there forever, right? Whether it's a picture or a comment, or an insult. Look at the guys that are, getting in trouble now because of the stuff that they did 30 years ago while they were in college or in high school. And is this going to change kids? I don't think so. That's why I wanted you to sort of talk about this, because it's not about saying, oh, like if your parents told you today, I'm blocking everything, every access that you have to the internet. Is that possible?
Not
No.
really, because we need it for school now.
Not at all. It's impossible for your parents to block everything from the internet. I had a kid whose parents took away his phone, right? Because he got in trouble multiple times. Took away his phone. Took away every single computer.
what my
Stopped
dad
service. Did all that stuff. And that kid was still sending threats online. So I called them up and I said, you know, what's going on? Your kid's making all these threats. Mr. Toledo, impossible. It's impossible. There's no way. I've disconnected everything. I've done this. I've done that. There's no way. It's got to be somebody who's pretending to be my kid. So it turns out that the kid had found a cell phone way back, an old Android phone connected to Wi-Fi, right? And then was online all the time, and nobody knew that the kid even had a phone. Because if you guys want to get online, nobody's going to stop you from getting online. So that's why it was really important what you said, that having a relationship with your parents and being able to trust them and talk to them and sort of like go through that is going to be much more important than internet police. Internet police doesn't work. Guys, you guys were very brave, and I appreciate you for your honesty and for all that type of stuff. Hopefully this wasn't too painful, right? Wasn't too bad.
No.
Nothing else?
No.
All right. Thank you guys. You did a great job.